educational achievement in the Black community, the first conversation that people like to have is with the educational achievement of African-American #FBA women. In comparison to their male counterparts, they do achieve more college degrees and more academic success, and they're very proud of it.
An educated Black woman is a threat to anyone who benefits from her lack of education.
Not only is their academic success proven, big financial firms like Goldman Sachs have promised to invest up to $10 billion in entrepreneurship growth for Black women. And this is good news because things should be looking up for the sisters in the community. And that brings us to last April. Now, with all of that in their favor, the U.S. economy added 170,000 jobs to the economy. But did Black women benefit from that? Really? There's always been a debate around DEI and if DEI helped Black people.
I want you obsessing about DEI. I want you to be focusing on DIY. Do it yourself. I like math. It doesn't have an opinion. You heard me say it a million times if you follow me. Here's why I don't want you obsessing about it. We're not even prioritized. Black people are not even the priority of DEI. Why are we getting so riled up?
DEI stands for...
All right, so let's stop it. We talk about modern women crashing out. They say, 106 women lost their jobs last month. You know, it's rough. Black women. I mean,
shout out to that brother. I can never remember his name. I love him. I'm always watching his reels, man. Teach me a lot. But like this talking point that someone is benefiting from uneducated sisters is wild as heck. That's what that sister said. She said only people that don't want these sisters to be educated are the folks that benefit from them not being educated. No. Ain't nobody intimidated by you sisters' achievements. Go ahead, achieve your goals. All we are saying is y'all overdid it. Y'all, and here's the thing: we blame y'all aunties and them because they told y'all, they gave you those marching orders. Don't be thinking about no man, get your education, you get a man later. It don't exactly work like that when you want a desirable man. But if you want that man that your auntie had that she don't like and cuss out, then go ahead and move that way. See how you connect those dots?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it was started after George Floyd was killed. And it was supposed to promote fairness and representation of groups who were historically held out for like upper management positions. And it was shocking to find out that although George Floyd was African-American, that the group that benefited most from these promotions were white women. So people were saying, well, we don't need DEI anyway because it doesn't help Black people, right? What did we find out last month? Although the U.S. economy added 170,000 jobs, Black women lost more jobs than anyone else, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Despite the U.S. unemployment rate remaining at 4.2%, Black women accounted for a total of 160,000 jobs lost. Employment for Black women dipped from 10.325 million in March to 10.219 million in April. Their unemployment rate climbed from 5.1% to 6.1%, accounting for the most significant month-to-month increase among all demographics. According to the data, Black women have lost 304,000 jobs since February.
He's right, you know.
And of course, this has left some people very, very concerned.
106,000. 106,000. That's how many Black women lost their jobs last month. 106,000. And while the unemployment rate went down for others, for us, it went up. But I'm sure it's not a coincidence, right? It's not the backtracking on DEI. It's not the fact that nonprofit funding is drying up. Maybe is it not the fact that Black women were only hired for diversity? And the crazy part, the first cuts is when things get tight for us. Maybe it's a coincidence, though.
And of course, there's all.
Listen, sister, you appear to be a rogue warrior. You got a fade. You got tattoos everywhere. This is a time for women to be submissive and feminine. All right. Even back in the caveman days, women didn't work. Somehow they survived, though. So y'all got to figure it out.
There you go. Bring back pterodactyls and T-Rexes. Land before time. That'll get them back in the freaking order. Or how about this? Y'all always talking about y'all can do every man's job. Go ahead and do it. Step away from these cushy office jobs and go ahead and prove Kevin Samuels wrong. take on these laboring jobs that men do. Go ahead and join the water authority, the gas company. You understand what I'm talking about? The Pittsburgh freaking bricklayers, things like that. Then you ain't got to worry about getting laid off. What did Kev used to say? Competence gets compensated. You better be able to have a strong mind or a strong backbone, Quisha.
So yeah, and like you said, Kev used to also say, you know, the largest employer of our melanated sisters is the federal government. You know, the majority of our sisters do. I mean, we've been talking about it for weeks. They got to take them skills. You know, there is other employment opportunities, you know.
That's why I acknowledge that there's a fix, that you guys were sold a terrible bill of goods. That number is staggering. It didn't hit home till now. The government hired y'all. The government, y'all still relying. Some of y'all, not all, relying on the government, and now y'all getting y'all jobs cut. If you were competent, you wouldn't get cut. That's my thoughts.
And of course, there's always conspiracy theories as to why things are what they are.
Did Black women lose their jobs? Or did Black women resign to further become entrepreneurs? As we know, Black women are the highest educated by race and gender. So this statistic, it doesn't mean what you think it means. I believe more Black women are starting their own businesses. I believe more Black women are taking the skills that they used in their 9-to-5 and they're building their own brands. They're building their own companies. They're building their own businesses.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the f you think you is?
I have no idea what the hell she's talking about. First of all, if Black women had the ability to start their own jobs, obviously a person would work for themselves if they know they could. Why would they work for, the government or anybody else? And it's not that they're quitting their jobs because they want to start businesses. They're literally being fired.
I just got let go from my job as part of organizational shifts and return to office. As you guys know, I've been a remote employee for the past 5 years, really since the beginning of the pandemic. And I'm crying not because I'm sad that I got let go. Obviously, the instability of losing an income always sucks. What sucks most about being let go is somebody taking control out of your hands.
And it's gotten so bad that white liberals are literally crashing out.
We have the most educated, melanin-skinned, beautiful women in the United States. I know that's going to piss some of you white tea people off and get you all in your white feelings today, but facts is facts. And our beautiful Black women are some of the most highly intelligent group of people in the United States. Again, I know that pisses a lot of you off, but what pisses me off is in April 2025, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that Black women lost 106,000 jobs.
Now, this one particular sister had a particular theory that I thought was very interesting on this subject matter.
Black women, they are doing the same thing to us that they did to Black men 40 years ago, which is pushing us out of the workforce. That's what they did to Black men. And that is what caused the major divide within our community with regards to the gender wars. We saw Black men the way they wanted us to see them because they didn't have the upward mobility that we had because of our jobs that we were able to get in the federal government. For one, the federal government was one of the biggest job employers for Black women, and they're pushing us out left and right. We lost more jobs last month than any other demographic. And those jobs are not coming back. And if they come back, they're not going to give them to us. I don't care what degree you got.
Huh. Yeah! We'll stop it here for a minute. So what are these women to do? I would assume majority of these women are single, if only 25 to 30% of our sisters are married. So it's safe to assume the majority of these women that are being fired are single women. And go with the number 60% baby mamas. Chances are they probably got a kid too. So these are single women with children, the majority.
Come on. And here we want to touch on this working from home. That's what's happened, right, Mrs. Raquel? Now, I understand there is more complex issues going on with all these cuts, but were a large number of folks that got comfortable working from home, working remote, because like that sister said, she started working remote since Cooties 19. Y'all got the game, and I never understood that. Working from home was always reserved for the elites. You say, no, okay. Correct me, Miss Raquel, what you got?
Not in the federal government. No.
Okay. So
Okay.
federal
So
government. So
before
then,
you,
so
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
so Bonquisha working in the federal government, and now she. So okay. So she was used to working. Even now, why did that sister say she started working from home whenever cooties happened? Now,
So
so these
when
sisters can have government jobs and work from home since day one.
so first of all, in order to have worked from home for 5 years, you had to get that cooties injection. So I really don't, y'all have all these opinions, but we worked to be able to work from home, and we work from home well, okay? And telework and remote work has been around for 20 years. It is something that is baked into working in the government. It is a perk, but when you work for the government, usually you're not working only just a set of hours. You guys have to remember that there are security guards and maintenance men that have to work on labs and AC units and sidewalks and pipes that burst. And I can run off a number of jobs that go on in federal buildings that are blue collar work. So remember that when you guys are talking about government jobs, you guys are also talking about people that do blue collar work, because the government employs a gamut of professions, not just scientists, not just doctors, but also technical blue collar people.
Now, as
So
far as laying off, so okay, so if you
now
got these plumbers and electricians, are they
they're
worried
the
about getting
last,
like?
they're the last to let go.
Oh, now
So
stop.
so
Now
so
that is my point.
okay, and I want to piggyback off of your point there. And but you started this off with DEI.
Yes.
Okay. So I- as an employee of the government, I would say that we have to be careful about when new administrations come in and offer these new inventive job positions and roles, because they become political. And I don't think that anybody thought that this could happen, that you would sign up for a job that had that description in it, DEI. But yes, the YT women, they did get those DEI leadership positions, right? So in an agency, you might have 9 DEI leadership positions. But of those 9 leadership positions that might be, we are suspecting, held by YT people, those teams are all what color? The other side. Mine is like the same color, but you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
It's
Got yep.
black
Mm.
teams of women. So while yes, YT women did get let go due to DEI positions, it wasn't the same amount as black women, obviously, because the numbers are now showing us, so yes, it's really tricky, but we have to be smart enough to be marketable enough to not fall for the tricks of these new positions that come out that are just political.
Because you can see right now, they don't care nothing about those degrees. As soon as we started getting it, they ain't mean anything anymore. I say this to say we gonna have to work with black men. Whatever grief you got with black men, get over it. It's time for us to work together. We need them and they need us, and this is just more proof of that.
Now, this lady has an unpopular opinion, but she cited that this same thing happened to black men many years ago. Black men were literally being forced out of their homes by the US government and held out of the job market. But at the same time this was happening, black women were being elevated in the job market. And many times, black women were given government jobs. We know that black people, black women in particular, are in all facets of the economy, but it's not uncommon to see black women having really good jobs with the government. And with DEI closing so many positions, a lot of these jobs allegedly are those those government jobs are diversity inclusion jobs that happen. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Who remembers this story about this young lady? Barbara Furlow Smiles, okay? This was a lady who was a former diversity manager at Facebook and Nike. She was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in prison for stealing a total of more than $5 million from those companies. What she was doing is she was using a wire fraud scheme that basically involved fake invoices, cash kickbacks, and other things, including her family and stuff like that. Well, this position was a highly paid position, right? And now, since there is no more DEI, a diversity manager at Facebook or Nike is simply just not needed. It's not needed for anybody. So if you have a job like this, then you're fired, right? Because companies now know, well, listen, we don't need to have a diversity manager because it's not needed anymore. So then whatever diversity job in the past, it's gone. But this does not mean that women who are white or Caucasian didn't get fired either. It just meant that if they did got fired, it was easier for them to get rehired. So then the question for me becomes, if black women have this education, then why is it harder for them to get rehired? Here's going to be some theories out there that many black people are probably going to like or not like. The first theory is going to be what I talked about the other day. Let's look at the sisters with the grills, okay? We have this lady who was a doctor of medicine, and then you have this lady here who calls herself Nina Ross, right? So you have these ladies that are professionals and might be talented, but this is their behavior.
So the woman earlier say, you know, a lot of these women claim to be entrepreneurs. They're leaving their jobs to go be bosses. So I guess that's one side of the coin. It's like, yeah, we lost our job, but we TikTok celebrities and we sell merchandise or whatever. And the other side of the coin is us not holding people accountable, HQ. We always talk about bringing shame and separating lines. But now when you got some of these sisters representing y'all, they bundle all y'all into the same group. So what's your take, HQ? What you got?
I mean, there's really not much to say. You don't have a choice in if your employer wants to get rid of you. You really don't have a choice. So the whole point is these ladies lost their jobs because they were basically non-essential jobs, not management jobs, middle of the road management jobs. So I don't blame those women for that. It is what it is. We understand the agenda of why this happened. The release and the destruction or deconstruction of the DEI program was the goal. And the goal was to get rid of non or melanated people.
Well, let me ask you this, HQ. What was the job? Like, if you are a DEI manager, what does your day consist of? What do you do?
I have no idea. I'm not a DEI. I have no idea what a person that would DEI hire would be doing. I have no clue. Don't ask me.
Here's my point. Like shout out to Miss Raquel Rose for sharing some knowledge on the whole government work thing. And the point that we both made was got to make sure there's a true demand, right? A true demand for that job. I learned that, halfway paying attention in college. You choose a profession where there's going to be a demand so you don't leave school and end up, doing nothing. But I understand maybe have been more tough to filter out HQ, being a government job. Government jobs sound about guaranteed. So I do understand, but nevertheless, got to be more careful.
I mean, there's jobs all over this planet that are non-essential. I mean, and plenty of people do them. So, I mean, you really can't distinguish between the non-essential or an essential job. I mean, I'm not specifically, if I see a job that pays $70,000 and I ain't doing jack, but there's another job that's harder.
What the hell? How do you have non-essential jobs and people just make six figures doing non-essential?
I'm sure there are jobs.
What are they doing? What's the job title? What do you do?
I don't know. Secretary, HR people can make over $100K.
Okay.
And be like
they work though. They work hard though.
Like
secretaries work.
Well, generalist is not as specific as the total HR manager. So there's a big difference between the general.
That's true.
All these jobs, like secretaries do work, but
I'm not saying they don't. I'm not saying they don't.
Respectfully, like the job HR secretary, respectfully, I'm pretty sure those are the first jobs AI coming for. I about all but guarantee it. all but guaranteed.
Then how is that? Then wait a minute. They got to be. Those are essential jobs.
Somebody got to run the AI. Hold your
Somebody got to
horses.
run the AI.
Well, there you go. So
You're not
but
gonna
that's
get a
not
leader.
That's not somebody that know how to type whatever 100 words.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna have to type, but they're gonna have to tell Chat GPT what to do. A leader is not gonna sit up there and plan out a whole project, a communications plan. You know, get the Canva together. It's still going to be having people are going to have to make the Chat GPT or the AI work. So
experts in AI, experts in Chat GPT.
Just don't take dumb jobs that are spawned by political actions on the Hill. When we see Congress arguing about things that are new and innovative, although we might agree with them and the money is tempting, what I'm saying is don't apply for those jobs unless you are like 30 years in the game and can skate with a good 401k and pension plan. You know,
these sisters need to go, all women, not just melanated women, all women that's losing their jobs. Y'all need to get out y'all feelings and go get some of these municipality jobs. I'm telling y'all, they will hire y'all in a second. But y'all,
that's exactly where I'm going. It's if something should happen to me, everybody at the courthouse, y'all better.
Yes, go ahead and work.
What's coming for you, baby?
If you go into I work on the street crew and you a decent looking sister, them brothers, they gonna like bring her on. She will actually work. She better know how to swing a pickaxe and
hey, I can direct traffic. I can get out there.
Y'all wilding.
Listen here, the net of it, you're gonna see a lot more of these women on OF, a lot more of these women selling Kudakata. We're about to get real primitive. They ain't about to go do no other jobs. It's just gonna be more selling of Kudakata.
That's facts. I was gonna lead towards that because eventually, you go work for one of these municipalities, somebody gonna end up tricking off on you heavy.
So what this tells me is that if black women are the most educated group out there, it can be one or two things. People just don't want to hire black women because of racism, which hasn't been the case in the past, or there is a stigma about hiring black women amongst certain age groups because of a certain attitude problem, or not wanting to listen to authority. It has to be either one or the other. I'm not sure as to what it is, but some people will say, okay, this is what we're talking about, right? And I don't know what the case is, but it seems to me that black women are just going to have to pretty much start their own businesses, right? I think that's what they're going to have to do. And they're going to have to use the do-it-yourself approach, like one of the people said. This is going to be needed right now because, again, you can't depend on those government jobs anymore. You know, obviously, people are feeling like black women are not owed anything, or even black men. And if it's true, then we as the community have to come together and understand that we really do need each other, and we are not better or worse because we work for a certain company. So because we're employed by the government, we're better than you. I mean, look at Tiffany Henyard. She was employed by the government and now she's not employed by the government. And so could that have a problem with it? Is it a Fannie Willis type attitude that we're seeing with the hiring of black women? Has that gotten out? But whatever the case is, black people in general need to start hiring one another. To me, it doesn't make sense as to why black women lose this many jobs. I mean, it's definitely something to that. And it's something that I definitely think is more to it. And I don't think this because black women's attitudes are that bad or any of that. I mean, anybody can have bad attitude for real. But it's a lot to be said that black women also are getting their Negro wake up call just like black men have, right? And so it's either that they don't need you anymore, like they didn't need us, and maybe now Latina women are more important, or is it white women more important? And so now you're third on the list, but it also shows that black women are gonna be out there alone by themselves too, just like black men, or whatever prejudices there are in the market. So as I talk to you guys today, know that this is coming out of love. How many times do they have to continue to show us how they feel? We have to really work together. We have to really improve our skills because as they're showing us, they don't owe us anything. And it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get any better, guys. We have to understand that African Americans historically, #FBA.
So there we go. And the title of tonight's show, these modern women are crashing out and nobody cares anymore. So these women going to be out on the streets. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of jobs. All right. Even Dollar Generals are going out of business. So I don't know what y'all going to do. I don't know. It might be over.
Dollar General going out of business. They about to revamp it. I swear to goodness, all y'all do is go in there and burglarize them to heck. That's why too much shrink. They about to have self-checkout lanes, and they're gonna have an AI robot like that big doll off of Squid Games. It's gonna be sitting there red light, green light. Go ahead, steal something if y'all want to. That's what time it's gonna be. Telling y'all, keep it up, and you gotta stop. Y'all know how we do over here. At no point in time should anybody feel moved to pull out a freaking victim card. If things are not going well, you must find a way to pivot. Sitting there complaining about it ain't gonna work. Venting and I guess brainstorming and sharing notes with colleagues going through the same thing and looking for a better outcome. Okay, but just complaining, oh, look what they did to us. Why did they do this? Nah, no thanks.
Oh, I'm wait a minute. I'm tuning in. I'm really tuning in. Why did he make this report? I mean, it wasn't like these women walked off the job or they lost the job because of something they did. They lost the job because the administration decided they were going to reduce their workforce and target people, brown and black people in that particular area. Because the DEI, most people right now to this day think DEI is specific to black people. So when an administration targets DEI, they're trying to target brown and black people. These women didn't lose their job because of the fact that they were incompetent or anything else. They lost the job because the administration targeted them. So no, I hope it's not a matter of okay, nah, boo boo, because that's not something that we didn't walk off the job, but we didn't lose our jobs because of something we did. We lost a job because of somebody targeting us.
Let me ask this.
And we're not out here saying, I lost my job whining. We're not doing that. We pissed off because we lost our job because of somebody targeted the DEI program. And we just happen to be a part of that DEI program.
So what you're telling me is that they may have had, senior Salesforce administrators running the whole system, and since they was melanated, they got cut.
No, I said they targeted the DEI.
Yeah, I'm saying since they were you said they melanated folks brown. So, but you're saying like it was just no thought behind it. They say, you know what? Since we cut DEI, we going into certain places blindly and just cutting down on DEI numbers. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's crazy, insane, and wild.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly why they
let me ask this. So they talk about diversity. So it's my assumption. You say it's not just for black people. So diversity means anybody besides white men, I'm assuming. Yes. Anybody besides white men can take advantage of being diverse because I guess the white man is the top of the workforce, I guess. So they say if you diverse, you could be a white woman, black woman. You could be LGBT, whatever. Mexican, anybody could take advantage of it.
Right. Because the whole point of the DEI and affirmative action was to cut that good old boys network.
Now wait. What one? You just threw affirmative action in with DEI. I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, that was the first phase of DEI. That was the first phase of DEI.
Well, no, you don't. You can't. See that's emotion. I'm so happy you did that.
I'm not emotional. What do you mean?
Those are two separate things. The literature in those are totally different. Why would you do that? That is emotion. I caught you red-handed. They're not the same at all.
I didn't say they were the same. I said it was the first phase of DEI. It was a more it was a more unthought out, unplanned way to target a diverse workforce. And then DEI was a more specific way to target a more diverse workforce. But they both were put into place in order to cut the knees out of the good old boys network.
Well, let me ask you this.
Otherwise, you'd be able to hire whoever you wanted to hire, family, friends, whatever.
Black people didn't start working for the government until after the civil rights movement.
Okay.
Right. So affirmative action was necessary because how would they have gotten jobs had that not came about?
Right.
I mean, there needed to be something to offset the fact that a government agency is in existence since 1930s and you don't let people in until the late 60s, early 70s.
That's why that was why it was formed, so that the diverse.
But affirmative action was a corrective tool to offset years of discrimination.
Right.
DEI was like a pacifier for people looked over in ways that they're usually looked over in life altogether.
Right.
Like you can't have a DEI program in the government and then you not make it mandatory for a private entity like a Target or a Walmart to do that. Like this was a feelings kind of thing. DEI was about feelings.
Here's my thing, because that's a rabbit hole. We could be here all night going around with this. We are talking about 106,000 women losing their jobs.
Right.
Modern women are crashing out. Nobody cares. What is the solution? They ain't getting them jobs back. I started this off by saying the majority. So if it's 106,000 last month, it's safe to say about 55 to 60,000 of those women were single mothers. What are these women to do? Like, we got to find long-term solutions.
So where we at? And my solution is getting jobs that you know ain't gonna get cut. Essential jobs. I told my story I learned what an essential job really was. During Hoodies 19, I worked for the Water Authority. When nobody else was allowed outside, it was like a ghost city. There was nobody allowed outside. And you had to have walking papers. You had to walk. Tell me I'm lying. You had to drive around with papers saying that you had an essential job so you would not get fined and reprimanded. So get jobs that you can't lose. Go and get them laboring, electricians, plumbers. Women would knock it out the park. You don't want to do it though.
Here we go. As far as this whole situation, to the sub.
Yeah, all love it. Whole thing.
The passengers of the doomed Titanic sub spent their last moments in total darkness looking for bioluminescent creatures out of the small window and listening to their favorite music. The new details of the 5 passengers' final moments have been revealed by the wife and mum of the father-son duo.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, diamond wade in the water. Something's gonna trouble the water. You better wade in the water. Yeah, man.